Welcome to Off Track, the motorcycle racing podcast, brought to you in proud partnership with J&S Accessories and B-Moto Motorcycle Insurance.
Welcome to Donington Park. Welcome to round 3 of the Bennett's British Superbike Championship. This week, we chat with GR Motorsport duo Storm Stacey and Joe Francis. Storm riding in the Bennett's British Superbike Championship, Joe riding in the Pirelli National Superstock Championship. We talk about their season so far and what motivates them to ride at this incredible level. Over to myself and the boys in the GR Motorsport Hospitality Unit. Enjoy. I'm your host, Dave Neal, and welcome to Starline, powered by LKQ Euro Car Parts Hospitality. But more importantly, welcome Storm Stacey, Joe Francis. Boys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Cheers for having us.
How are we?
Feel very welcome.
You should.
No,
This is your second appearance on the show.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I was trying to think. I think it was like Alton Park a few years ago, wasn't it?
Was it the third time now? Because we did catch you at Silverstone.
Well, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I've bumped in a few times.
You have, yeah. You've stepped in a couple of times, kind of unwittingly.
Yeah.
Joe, was this our first time? Have we done one before?
I think we did one at FHO maybe, but
We did.
yeah.
You can tell we're at Donington Park, can't you?
2021, I think.
We'll have to keep pausing for the aeroplanes, but that's fine. It happens. Welcome to Donington Park.
Can't ride noisy bikes around here, though. You get
can't
done
ride-
for noise limits.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can't make any noise here.
Say electric bikes then?
Yeah.
Is that the way
Because the
forward?
planes are so quiet.
Yeah. And like trying to sleep at night and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
difficult, isn't it? Mm. But you're right. Brands Hatch, end of 21 when you did the FHO ride.
Yep.
Can I put my feet?
You can put this. That's not mine, mate. You put your
Yeah,
feet
yeah.
where you make yourself comfy.
I
You
am.
might be here a while, you know.
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
We always storm.
We will be with Storm, yeah. The quiet and we've got like the yin and the yang, haven't we?
I'm comfy now.
You're comfy now.
Yeah.
So we have
Got
the,
it like wedged between the side of my cock.
That's fine. You've got to find room there, have
It's
you?
all right.
It's a good job.
Comfy.
Is that because it's warm?
Yeah, but it's just like nice. It's sitting there now. It's like at one with me.
It's at one with you now. So
Yeah,
we're happy
with
to
my
carry
wand.
on now. At one with your wand.
What one with my wand?
I'm looking forward to making
No
a
one's
reel
going to
out of
want to
this.
use this mic again.
Nobody will probably get the chance. I think I'm going to put that on the mantelpiece.
Yeah, so
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
it's one of those seminal moments. And I said seminal,
seminal.
not seminal. Seminal. It's one of those
Seminal.
It's one of those seminal moments. Joe's not.
I ain't got a semi.
You just got to find the level and keep going, haven't we?
Yeah,
I think that's the way.
keep pushing it.
What do you reckon, Joe?
Just let's see where it goes. You don't know which
Started off
direction
well.
it's going to take.
Never.
with-
That's the beauty of the
with
podcast.
Storm, but we'll find a direction somewhere.
What was the direction like in Spain when you were both out there pre-season? Because you've had a sort of a season together in the team, and
I think, to be honest with you, we're just lucky to be alive after Dogs is driving, aren't we?
Yeah. So
We had
my
a few-
mechanic dogs is a bit loose in our car, if we must say so. I told him to try the gearbox out when we left the airport. He went from 5th to 2nd. And
Standard?
It didn't go too well. It like revs went through the roof, and but yeah, we're here to tell the tale. But I'd
normally the hire car story comes at the end.
all right, yeah. Well, we've got more. I'll stop it there. Then we've got more. Yeah, okay.
That's usually the closer. That's the way.
Well, that'll drag people into it then, won't it?
Well, yeah, you see, you know how to do the hook.
Give them a teaser.
You know how to do the hook. You're doing this social media thing, this YouTube thing. It's Storm
well,
Stacey's YouTube
If
channel.
you say
and-
so.
Well, you had a crack
Try
at
it.
it.
Yeah, I've tried. Yeah, I'm trying.
Not easy, is it?
No. Editing takes a while.
Is it more difficult than you thought?
It's not difficult. It's mind-numbing and time-consuming. That's the bottom line of it.
And knowing exactly what you mean, because I do all the editing for this, I put
and
it all
anyone
together.
can just
it's-
chuck a video together, but it's like actually quality and time
Correct.
takes time. That's the thing.
It's all about quality.
Because I watch my videos back now from like first time and stuff like that, and I think, it would have been cool if I'd have done that in the video, but it's done now.
But is that not also how you learn?
Yeah.
It's how we learn with the podcast. Every time,
yeah.
every time I do one, I learn something new.
Yeah, well, like you've done your intro, then it's like you
first
might do
one,
that
isn't it?
every time now.
We've got to, yeah.
Yeah.
Our man in the know, Matt Dunn, says that's what we've got to do. So, Matt, we managed to do it on the 5th take.
We give it a go. He didn't have the mic on, but we give it a go. So
That's
practice runs. He
Mate,
said.
that's a recurring theme. I think that's the 3rd time I've
I
done
don't
that.
use mics yet. I just do it all off my phone, really. Phone and GoPros.
It works
Winning
well.
with that, yeah. It's all
And
right.
you've tried doing some as well. Do I
Yeah,
see
we-
you've been doing a bit of vlogging as well?
Yeah, mine just haven't. I've got them sort of all ready from the first 2 rounds, but I've just not finished them. So I'm just
This
like,
is round 3.
I know I've like half a job finished them, so I think I'm just going to merge them all into one, and then
So
it's going to be alright.
I'm actually filming this weekend and putting one together this weekend, but I've not done the first 2 rounds because I thought it'd be a very good reason for like if I'd have had a really bad first 2 rounds, it'd have been, you're spending more time doing your videos than you are racing. So I thought, well, if I just knock it on the head for a bit, focus on racing. That's the main priority. It always will be.
There's a bit of a potential for that, isn't there? That it can be, you can be seen, even though you're not, because you're still concentrating on the racing, both of you. But the perception is that, well, hang on a minute, do you want to be a YouTube star or do you want to be a motorcycle racer?
If I'm not doing it all, it's out of the equation. It's not an excuse, is it?
Of course it's not. So all in.
Yeah, but we're giving it a go this weekend, and we're doing rubbish. So we'll maybe it's to do with vlogging. That's what it is.
Maybe you need to do more vlogging.
Well, no, because we're doing rubbish now.
Well, you did reasonably all right. Tell us about Silverstone and Alton Park.
Is that your way of saying Silverstone wasn't very good, Dave?
I didn't say anything. All I said was tell us about the season.
Silverstone was on fire. We was on it. Yeah, no, Silverstone wasn't too bad. It was actually, overall as a weekend, was really good, apart from the stuff that went wrong. If you put together my lap times of each sectors what I did, I was like 4th fastest over the weekend. So I was actually pedalling on. But yeah, start of the weekend didn't go amazing. I had a little off at the first flying lap of FP1. The rear came round on me. Got back on, came back into pits, we sorted it out, jobs are good and went again. Friday didn't go to plan, it just was what it was. Went into Q1, was flying on it, proper on it. Set a really good lap time, boom, into Q2. Then we went into Q2, I was on it. Glenn Irwin just come past me, I thought, right, I'm on for a tow here, we're going for it. Just start chipping away, and then I come down into Brooklands, and it backed in a lot. And I was like, I said to him, like, what the fuck is going on with this thing? Like, what's happening? Like, and I thought, right, well, luckily Tommy Bridewell came past then, and I thought, right, well, I'll have a do on the back of him now. And I thought, well, just remember, it's going to back in a bit there next lap. So I come round onto start and finish, and then I heard crunch, crunch, crunch. It was like whining like a cat as well. It was like, it was just making some right weird noises. So I pulled the clutch in. I thought, it's blown up. We've had a few blow up, unfortunately. It's part of racing, isn't it? And so I pulled the clutch in, rolled to the gravel, and then I looked down. I thought, I'm getting a bit hot here. I looked down and thought, we're in flames. So I thought, how long do I stay on this and risk it to see what's going to happen? And so I jumped off it into the gravel, and when I jumped off, I was going too fast for my legs, so I barrel rolled. But it made good coverage for Eurosport. We got a few hits on that. Starline.
You're going to make it into the the closer, aren't you?
Well,
that was the first thing I thought. That's the first clip for the Eurosport season closer.
But yeah, I invited everyone to a barbecue and no one turned up. But it's then you get all the Facebook lick as well. I had a road to the barrier.
Would you really?
Yeah.
You're good
I'm
looking,
all right. But then we chipped away again at the weekend, and unfortunately we had to run stock 1000. And one of Joe's engines. Cheers for that. We had to use one of Joe's engines for the rest of the weekend, and I just got absolutely mullered at Straitsville. It's not good there. But we chipped away. We did what we did. I never stopped fighting. It's what you got to do, isn't it? You're there racing. But yeah, Silverstone wasn't too bad. Taking all the positives, the negatives. Negatives is what it is. It's all what it is. It is. But yeah, not bad.
What about Alton Park?
Yeah, good. Not bad. It was good. We got there and we started Friday. We had a bit of a plan. We were going what we're doing. We worked our way through it. But it didn't feel amazing out the box. It never does. It's racing, in it. You always want something else. You're always wanting something. We got the bike to where we wanted it. We were struggling a bit in the drive. We had a new engine to try, which was a bit different to what we've been using. And so it took a lot of getting used to when we got there. It was kind of like, boom, here's your new engine, right? See what it does. So we didn't know what it was going to do. We didn't know what to expect. We ran on the dyno, we could see a bit of a difference, but I think a dyno never really gives you a true reading of what it's actually going to be like on a track, because all you're doing is power runs.
Well, it's just power runs, yeah. It doesn't tell you the handling or how it feels.
So it changed quite a few things, so we had to get used to it. Engine braking we were running quite a little bit, not much as what we'd use with this engine we use now. But we were chipping away, we were working away, and we were like, if it's dry, we're struggling a bit. And then boom, the rain came. We was like, come on. Well, we didn't know what to expect really, so we was like, well, we'll see what it's like. Got a good setup, and yeah, the wet's in. I went behind Josh Brooks and I was sitting like P2, P1, pretty just in the top 3 most of the time when it was wet. And then Q1 I went out because I didn't get through to Q2. So Q1 I went out and I was riding around. I managed to finish like 4th or something. My lap time I packed in, so I was gauging off other people in that up time. And I thought, well, he's having a good do here, so I'll sit with him and see what he's doing. And I managed to get myself through. And then, yeah, Q2, I'd seen the track quite a lot because I was in Q1. And I said to the boys, I said, well, let's just wait a minute. And everyone went out on the wets, and I went, I don't know if that's the way that. And then I said, right, we'll put an intermediate rear in and a wet front, because I think towards the end we're going to have a good punt here. So there was a few sections that were soaking, and then there was some that were like pretty bone dry, nice line. Like Druids, you had to sit on a nice line. Otherwise, if you went off it, you're on the wet. But I kind of believe the intermediate wet rears and that are quite grippy as a wet. They are really grippy, to be honest. And so I chipped away, and I was sitting P1 for a bit. In Q2, I was sitting P1 for quite a while. And then Leon and Josh Brooks put in a good last lap, and they bumped me down to 3rd. But on my last lap, I was actually on for 0.2 under them, and I fluffed the last sector. And I caught up to a bit of traffic. And then, yeah, we ended up 3rd. What a shame.
It's not bad, is it?
Oh, what a shame. But yeah, no, it was absolutely buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. You get a lot of people saying, well done, well done, well done, this is mint, well done. And all I could say was, well, it's about fucking time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like,
this is
I don't mean that in like a nasty way or out like that, but it's like, it's just, when it all comes together, we're on it. We are on it when it all comes together, but it's getting all the jigsaw puzzle bits together. Like at the minute, we haven't got all the bits together and that, but it's just, like I say, it's just time, isn't it?
If it was easy, everybody would do it.
Exactly, and if it was easy, you wouldn't do it.
Correct. And that's
it wouldn't be worth doing.
Joe, tell me about your season so far. I mean, you're back on now with the... Sorry, I didn't interrupt you there. Second season with the team.
Yep.
Home, really, where you won your Motostar Championship back in 2013.
Yep, that's it.
It's sort of come back to where you kind of belong in a kind of nice way.
Yeah, that's it. It's just one of them where I was obviously trying to stay in Superbike with FHO at the time in 2021, and just for whatever reason it didn't come together. But I'd already, before that even come off of riding the last 2 rounds for them, I'd actually already spoke to Brent about doing something, maybe stock or Superbike for 2022, and he was straight away up for it. And then we sorted it after that anyway, because the priority was Superbike. But then I came back to Superstock with Brent, and I thought Kawasaki looked strong. There was obviously, we changed to Motec for last year, whereas they were having problems on the kit loom the year before with backing in, and we just thought, actually, we could be on for this. I thought I was riding really good on the Superbike, on the FHO bike. Felt good, and I thought, can I have a proper crack at this Superstock 1000 title? And then, for whatever reason, the Honda made a step, and we just got left behind a bit. And it was through no lack of trying of me or the team, but for whatever reason last year it just didn't happen. We had some problems with ECUs and stuff, where I had chatter for about 70% of last year, but severe, through no fault of mine or the team, and it just wasted a lot of the year, really. So we come into this year, got the problem solved, and we're like, great. So we go out to Spain at the start of the year, and we got this problem, and it's like, won't go away again. And we're like, oh god. And then we get to Silverstone round 1, and we've cured it, and we're like, straight away feeling good. And usually last year what we seemed to happen was FP1 would be quick, and then we sort of tail off. That would be the limit. But Silverstone, we've managed to like start off about, I think, 9th, 10th, but then by qualifying we were 4th on the grid, so we made that nice progression, and 2 good starts. I probably was the best starter on the grid at Silverstone, which for me, everyone knows. I don't know how that happened, but fighting at the front, then it was clear to see straight line speed's the big issue at the minute. Turning, it's quite strange, really. Like Silverstone last year, last sector I was awful, with the worst sector, and now I was topping that out of everyone this year, and it's like we're still just trying to find our feet with it. And you go to, I think, where did I end up? 2 7th places. Should have been a bit more, but just, you can only override a bike for so long that doesn't have power. before you fold in the front. You're asking too much of everything, and you're just a crash waiting to happen, aren't you? So,
have you learned from your time in Superbikes with the bikes that you had in BSB? We've spoken many a time over many a race meeting about the difficulties that you had as a BSB rider. Has that made you a better rider now by understanding the limits of what you need to do as a rider?
Yeah, I'm understanding. Obviously, I always know everyone knows the limit, but I'd always try and I know what I can do. So I know, like, I'd try and go over that limit because I know, like, there's people in front and I'm thinking, what am I doing behind them? Like, I'm riding the wheels off this and they're in front of me and they're weren't even riding good. And you're like, it becomes frustrating. So then you ask more, and then obviously there's a limit to everything. But like you said, that experience now, I think I took that Silverstone, I come out with a third of the points after one round and I had all the last year. It's like just experience and putting it together when it counts. And I've tried to, like, find that limit and I'm riding on the limit, not over it. And Alton Park was just a bit of a mess. Just what sort of a round to forget about, really. I crashed out of, I don't even know where. It was just one of them weekends where, like Storm said, it rained. He's doing well. Usually but in Superbike, when, like, I've had a good race in the wet or whatever, me and Storm were, like, pretty much together. So the wet, I was thinking, we're on for a good result, and I probably struggled more in the wet than I did the dry. So we sorted all that though now. Alton should have had points but didn't, so you come over fresh head and you crack on again, ready for round 3.
So one race this weekend.
Yeah, just
for you boys.
I don't know what's going on this year.
Strange, isn't it? It's two at Silverstone. You have one at Alton.
One at Alton
and one here.
The problem is, on a Saturday, if you make it through to Q2, you do 15 minutes of riding.
The whole day.
And it's like 15 minutes.
You can make the bruise.
Yeah, literally, innit?
You become T-boy then, don't you?
I'm like Storm, going out watching Storm.
It can be my Ucho.
That's exactly what I was just about to say.
I'm more of a fan than I am a rider on a Saturday, but...
You're a good fan.
Yeah, good, aren't I?
Yeah.
Top.
A lot of support.
Yeah, great support. But no, it's just frustrating because obviously you come here, you want to ride a bike, and, like, that's a good thing with Superbike. You get so much track time that you can't get it right by you coming to race 1. You got a problem because you've had a fair bit of track time to figure out what works and what doesn't. Whereas, like today, you do about 20 laps, and it's just not enough time to. You miss a few laps, and you're just behind, or you're just wanting to ride your bike, but you feel like, oh, I'm up to speed, and then the checkered flag comes out. You're like, bloody hell. So
that's the unfortunate side to the national championships, and Stock 6 and Stock Power National Championship versus British Championship, which get the track time.
But you look at FP1 of Superbike and you look at FP1 of Stock 1000 today, the top time in Stock 1000 I think was like inside the top 10 of Superbike.
Grippy track and slick tyres.
So they're starting at the same point. It's just that extra track time. If we had extra track time and a bit more adjustability, the stock bike isn't far off. So it's that extra track time is where it's like anything. You do more laps. You got more time to get it right, haven't you?
Woman seat time, isn't it, at the end of the day? What's it like with the transition to slicks now from treaded tyres for 2023?
To be honest with you, not really a lot different. The front's a lot more stable because it's a fatter tyre.
Yeah.
But the rear tyre of that cut slick last year, whatever it was, you wouldn't believe the grip. Because obviously I come from Superbike with an X, and the grip of them's like phenomenal, and didn't feel any difference. Like, that's how good it was. And all the lap records went, didn't they? And it's only, I think every track, Alton, we weren't even quicker than last year. So it was a good setup. And then you come here, the track's obviously quicker, but slicks they're just a better tyre, aren't they?
But it doesn't. It also sets it up as almost a baby superbike as well, doesn't it? I mean, I don't know what the future holds, but I think I would love to see you boys as teammates in BSB on 2 superbikes.
I think it'd be good because, like, that's why I think Brent brought me in Superstock as well, because we're similar height. So we're probably riding a bike. Everything's quite similar. Yeah, we ride a bike differently, but you've got the same height, same weight. It's just a lot of contrast where you can look at each other. So if we were both on a superbike, we could work together quite well and bring the package on then that next step. more consistently.
I think that's a great shout, because it's rare you get teammates that are such a similar build.
Yeah, that's it.
That you can actually work.
Short and tall, and you're not riding a bike the same, are you?
No, you never are, and that's the thing about it. The dynamic between the two of you, I think, works so well. The videos that you did out in Spain, to have two young riders that are the talent and the future of Superbike, as I've said to you before, and we know that from you because of your age now. The future is there. How do you boys get on together and when away from the circuit, like when you're in Spain?
I was going to say it when we first started, and you said about us together. I think last year we wasn't as close as we are this year.
No, because we didn't do Spain, did we, together or anything like that?
No, this year I think we've been a lot closer together, haven't we? And with the YouTube, like you two having a go at it, and that it's all right.
Yeah,
touching my pipe.
I'm touching your thing.
But yeah,
keeping that in, by the way.
Similar interests with the YouTube and stuff, and yeah, it's just been good, hasn't it?
Yeah,
a lot better.
Like last year
we get changed in the truck and that now. And
just more. I think there's been changes in the team itself, which has allowed us to be more around. Like we got ready in separate trucks last year, and it was more of a divide, stock and Superbike. Whereas now it's more of a whole team. Like Aaron and Dogs and people in the Superbike team, Aaron looks through my data, and it's more. Whereas last year it was green team, blue team type thing, where not like it's hard to, you wouldn't see it from the outside, but just from like mine and Storm's point of view, we were quite like
green team can't come in our garage.
Right.
We could.
I'm joking.
Is that right?
Joking. No,
but you just like we never
green team has to leave from the awning.
There's more green team, blue team, but now we're a team.
Yeah,
it's a lot better.
It's working good.
But like it's funny because like Joe gets his kit on, he's like nice and calm.
I'm just chilled.
He's chilled. I have my boombox going.
Why am I not surprised that you are yin and yang?
Like if you come past my truck, like the back of the Superbike truck, half an hour before I'm out, mate. It's booming,
it is going.
It's a full-on rave in the back of the truck.
What music do you like? What
like house music.
Oh, really?
Well, it varies though.
Anything, innit?
Does it depend on
Try not to play too much like offensive music loud because someone might hear it.
Because children.
Yeah, well, yeah, children and that. But like house music, like bassy, like proper bassy. I got a big JBL, so I just have that booming in there. But like I'm pretty enclosed in the back, so the sound kind of stays in there a bit. It's good. It's good. Dead good.
Love it, don't you?
Music's the biggest stimulator.
He's dead sad if he doesn't do it.
I am.
He comes out proper miserable.
Got to get me in the mood.
See,
he's a bit like a woman.
But music is it? We can go on a little sidetrack. Music's important.
It is.
See, I'm odd in the respect I can, when I train anything, I don't need anything to motivate me. I'd rather motivate myself in my own brain.
Okay.
I study things, whereas Storm gets going with music. I think I'm calm because I'm studying everything to a different degree. Like I'm looking at every last detail to think, right till I get in that garage, I'm thinking, what could I do better, or what could we do better with the bike, until the last second.
Does that not lead you to overthinking?
I think in the past it has, but I think I've got it to the point now where I know what's going to work. I know when it's there, it's not. So I'm calm because I'm prepared. I walk in that garage knowing what's possible, what's realistic.
And then Storm comes belting in with his like Conor McGregor swinging his arms. I'm ready to go.
I've always got a plan.
Swinging.
I've always got a plan. There's always a plan to be done. You've got to have a plan. But there's nothing wrong with getting your head in the right frame of mind.
Absolutely not. It's a High School Musical thing.
All
Get your head in the game.
All I think about is being on that bike when I'm trying to get my head into the game.
Yeah.
With the top hat, with you being as individual as you are, and rightly so.
Yeah.
I forgot what question I was going to ask there.
Don't ask.
It's quite a decent one actually.
I think when you're not in a team with Storm, you can quite easily take him the wrong way.
That's where I was going, about being misunderstood. That's exactly where I was going.
When you're a rider in a different team, you just think, what a complete knob. In a good respect, like you think.
Cheers, babe.
Because sometimes he comes across in a way where you don't know how to take him. But once you spend a bit like we did in Spain, you understand him a bit more. Then it's like, oh, I get that a bit more now. So But then you see, because I've been the other side, I can see why people think that.
Yeah.
But once you actually understand him more, he's actually all right, but he can be a knob. But you're all right, aren't you?
Yeah.
This is what I was going to say about being misunderstood
Yeah.
because of the top hat and you being as individual as you are.
Yeah.
You got to stand out. The top hat's a big thing for. He does a lot
What
for
you
mental
do,
health with
yeah.
my dad and everything, and I do it for respect for my dad. But I don't just do it for that because he's not here anymore. It's simple, innit? He's not here. I don't need to dwell on him not being here or out like that. It's done, innit? People live, the people die. It's what happens. But when you're racing around on a track and you've got your helmet and kit on, no one knows what you look like.
No.
But when the commentators are saying, "Oh, Storm Stacey walks around the paddock with a top hat on," well, you ain't going to second guess someone walking around with a top hat, then, are you? So
I think it's hard
It's
because
branding off it.
the
That's
way,
right.
what I think the way that I could explain it properly is we're all knobheads, but if you're in putting yourself out there like Storm does, everyone sees that, so they think that. Whereas there's a lot more, probably worse, but they don't put themselves out there to show that. If they put that same, like, not from I don't know the right word, but if you put
Character.
character out there, then you probably think worse or the same of a lot of other riders. But it's just people are good at. He just wears his heart on his sleeve, and that's that. You take it as you
Well,
see
if you
it.
don't like me, you don't like me.
That's it.
Can't be helped,
Innit?
can it?
You don't need to
Yeah.
sit around
I think
me.
you're all right.
No,
Yeah,
that's it.
sound.
You wouldn't be sat here if I didn't.
No, I like being me because it's like my missus I've met now, and well, you've met her. She's nice and
Lovely.
and
Loved up,
Burley
didn't
girl.
he, now?
Same as mine.
No, I am. I'm loved up. I love her. She's sound. and like I took her out on a date, and I wasn't looking for a girlfriend. I wasn't doing anything. And I said to myself, I am gonna be me. So if she don't like it, she can fuck off.
Yeah.
Simple, innit? She knows where the door is. Done, innit?
It's that.
And that's what I'm like with people. If you don't like me, it's simple, innit? You don't need to sit around me.
Of course not. I mean,
quite happy on my own.
No eggshells, is there?
No, well, you know where
It's
you
quite
stand with me.
easy to misunderstand the character when you don't know him, and it's quite easy to judge, like, from not knowing them. But
The
when
thing
you get
is
to
in
know 'em-
racing is like if you got all the BSB grid and you got Joe and Stock 1000 grid and you told us all to run up a hill against each other, we're all gonna want to win.
yeah, that's
Don't
it,
matter what it is, we're all gonna want to win.
Yeah.
100%. How difficult is it to be yourself in the paddock?
I don't know if it's difficult. It's more just. It's like anything. You can be whatever you want if your results are good. Can't
It's-
you? It's a bit.
yeah.
That's the double-edged sword. Like, if you. That's where another reason why you could misunderstand Storm is because everyone. If he was winning superbike races, they wouldn't even second guess
I get
it, would
people
they?
commenting on Facebook, stop pissing around with that,
Yeah.
take it off, concentrate on your racing. And
But if you're
looking
winning,
like a
you wouldn't
dickhead,
get
and
that.
It's like, all right,
That's the
so I
thing.
can't wear a hat and ride my bike fast. It's just people, innit?
Yeah.
Lickers, we call them lickers, don't we? They're on it, lickers.
I think just you can look at it in loads of different ways, can't
Yeah.
you? But
Yeah, I just find it interesting because it's such a visible sport. And when I spoke to Dan Linfoot here at the test, and was speaking to Dan about racing it when he rode for Honda, you have so many commitments on a corporate scale, and he openly admitted it's not him.
Yeah.
He said I don't even like pit walk, so I'm not a big fan of people. I just want to ride my bike.
See, I love pit walk. Love it.
And that's why everybody's different. That's
Yeah.
the thing. And I know a couple of riders I've worked with. They just, I just want to ride my bike.
I'd be so
Yeah.
dull at racing if there was no one here. I bounce off
It wouldn't
people.
be the most
I bounce off
entertaining.
people. Always have done. But going back to what you said about if you can be who you want to be at racing, I think it's took me a while to be who I am now, because you get people that say like that have taken me for like to be a knobhead for
Yeah.
ages, and it's like, well, oh, Stormy's a little shit and all this, and I was when I was younger, but I've decided to grow up a bit now because I needed to. But it's no, you develop into who you are, aren't you? And don't try and be someone else, otherwise you're a fake person, aren't you?
yeah,
It's 100%, and it's a really brave, and it is a brave step to be that different in this paddock when 98% of the paddock conform to a certain
As long as
way.
you conform into sponsors and they're all happy and everything's good, what am I doing wrong?
Nothing.
I haven't said anything wrong. I don't think I have. It's I've got rid of the mullet now. I looked in the mirror and obviously at Northwest I had it, and I got home from Northwest and I looked at myself in the mirror, and a few people have got them now with Davey and Joey Thompson and stuff like that. I seen a few of them at Northwest and I thought, come on, Storm, Says, you're a leader, not a follower. Why have
Right.
you got a mullet? You've got a top hat. You don't need a mullet. So, boom, it was gone. Jobs
It
was
It's off.
And it was good to see you at the Northwest as well, with the top hat. It was there.
Well, I was there
It
with
doesn't go
sponsors as well, with Starline. So, Euro Car Parts, because we come and do the BSB and stuff, we don't have a BSB rad in Ireland. So, we put a little package together with Richard Cooper and that, what Brent did. And we got to go over there, take the fans in, the customers into the hospitality and that, and it was meant just to spend a bit of time with them. And you know me actually be able to spend time with them because I'm not going out on track and that.
Yeah.
And I can have a
Not
drink
looking at
as
your
well,
watch going like, I've got to be here,
it's
there
just
and
meant
everywhere at
having
this
a proper
time.
laugh with them and that, it's good.
I'm sure when we were sat on the little bollards just on the grid, you were in a good mood.
Yeah, probably was. Sunny.
I think you
Sunny.
were 2 pints deep,
No, it
I
was
think.
the sun.
Oh, is it sunshine?
It was the sun.
Sunshine. That's
Sun
what you
caught my
said.
face.
That's what you said. It was sunshine. You're
I
right.
had the top hat on all day. My head was up.
Yes, that's what it was. That's what it was. But it was
I did
it was good to see you and good to meet your
It
other
was
half
Brent.
as well.
Brent got me pissed. That's what it was.
So it's not the sun. That's kind of what I was edging for, and you were
Yeah.
just being evasive. But seeing
I
as
was
Brent
like,
stood
no,
there
I'm all right
behind
now,
you,
I'll
just
have a
nodding
Coke.
away.
I'll have a Coke. He was like, no, you won't.
You're here to enjoy yourself, son, and that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Why weren't you there?
I'm going to TT.
Are you?
Yeah, going over for practice from the Thursday the 1st till the 6th. So practice week and a few races. Went over the first time last year, and I asked the guy we stayed with last year, Andy, and seeing if he was going over, and then he said there was a space there, so we booked it straight away.
Did I see you there last year?
I think you might have done. Somewhere.
The whole 2 weeks was a blur for me. I'm not going this year.
No. Well,
Can't make it this year.
I just enjoy it. Like it's just a nice break getaway, but it's just a whole different environment.
Is it?
Just
The thing is, it's weird
different.
though. 'Cause like, and I don't know if the TT's the same, because like the Northwest is possibly something you may want to have a go at, so you feel like a bit of a lost part there. But like the TT, I think I probably won't feel so much like that, because I don't want to have a go at the TT or like that. But it's weird. It's like you say, it is a nice holiday, a nice break, but you're still watching bikes.
Yeah.
So it's good that you're watching bikes, but then the word for it is jealous. You get jealous because they're riding a bike and you're not, and it's not holiday then, is it? It's weird. It's a weird one.
More like a big festival. I'd
Yeah.
say that's
Yeah.
what the TT
Yeah.
is.
It's the atmosphere, innit?
Yeah. It's just everywhere.
Different to anything
Buzzing.
else, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the Northwest was great. You take away controversy and the negative side of it. The plus side is it's still a fantastic event.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
still a spectacle.
Yeah, and
And
you see the power behind it to get it running.
It's a big
It's
event,
incredible.
It takes a lot. It doesn't happen overnight, does it?
No.
That's the thing. Do you think you could have a crack at it?
Hey, me and Coop spoke after he'd won the races and that. Well, he'd been on the podium, and he came into the hospitality and seen the sponsors and stuff. And he said to me, just remember, I was 36 when I came in and did my first year. He said, you got plenty of time.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. And I said to my dad, I'd never do the TT. No, he said the TT. He said brick walls aren't forgiving. You don't need to do the TT. And I says, all right. And Speedway. He said, don't do Speedway. So I said, all right. I'm not going to do them too. That's fine. I'm not going to do that. But I'm convincing myself. He said TT and not road racing. So I think we're all right.
Different.
That's quite specific, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't do the TT, which opens up.
That's what Seeley
Road
does,
racing.
doesn't he? Seeley just does the Northwest and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite a
So-
few.
And then goes back
But I
to
did a few-
delivering
I did-
letters.
I did a
Well, he's
few
doing
laps.
stock 1000 this year. He's doing Superstock as well.
Yeah.
I did a few laps of the Northwest and that, and it's like, it doesn't matter what I go to. Even if I went to the TT, I'd probably do a few laps and eye it up. I'd be like, oh, what's going on here? But that's just racing, isn't it? You go to a motocross track and you walk it the night before, you're eyeing it up. I don't do motocross. I don't do enduro. I do, but I don't. But you know what I mean? It's like you eye everything up. Got two wheels, you're going to try and see how you can do it faster or how you can understand the best bit of it. But yeah, no, I had a good look round the Northwest, and I quite like it as a circuit. I think it's quite cool, and when I go doing sketchy stuff, I end up doing all right. So
The coupe set around in the car.
no, I went with so Josh, our mechanic. He's over there. He's chilling. His rider Julian from Austria. He took us round for a few laps. That was good. It's just
Station
a good
corner?
inside. It's pretty fast, that.
Looks all right, that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't mind all of it. I quite like that bit. I like the roundabout. I like all of it. I like the straights, especially. I like the straights. They're fast. The university, is it on the brakes?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then left over the hill, right round the roundabout, straight chicane. Don't mind that one. That one looks all right. Down the next one, and then you
Mallas
go
Cross.
left, right. I don't like the entry into there. It's so tight.
Magraboy.
Yeah, when you drive past it, it's so
You don't realise
tight.
it's there, do you?
How tight the entrance is to
Proper.
it, and how fast they go through there. If you get something a little bit wrong, it's going to hurt that.
What fascinates me when you go round the circuit, Station Corner just fascinates me anyway. When
Oh, it's so fast.
I chatted to the FHO boys back at Silverstone, and they were saying how they just a little roll to transfer the weight forward.
Yeah, so
but then
lose the
straight
front,
back on it.
Back on it, yeah.
But the bit where
That's like crane of curves, really. You go from the right, roll the throttle a bit, settle the front down. So you can use that on circuits.
Same principle.
Yeah, it's the same principle.
the bit that beggars belief for me is Mathers Cross, where they've put that first chicane in, where you go right, left out of it. The house that's on where it used to be just a fly-in right-hander.
Yeah.
There's a house right on the exit, and that's what you fixate on as you come through that. In the old days, there's nothing but straw bale there. That's why the chicane's in there, because the house, as you come through, I almost sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I just listen to people that do know what they're talking about, and then pass it off as my own knowledge.
Fair enough.
Because that's
what most people in BSB do anyway.
I think that's anyway. But yeah, you can understand why they put the chicanes in, but you can imagine what a circuit would be without it.
Yeah.
Whereabouts did you watch from at TT?
We went up to staying in Crosby, so obviously that's quick through there, and then the Crosby jump, and then I think we went up to Laurel Bank after that, and then we ended up at Glen Ellen. And that was more like when you watch there at like Glen Ellen, Laurel Bank, you think, well, that's all right, because it's a bit more short circuit style, isn't it? A bit twisty, but then the fast bits are they are crazy. But I've been saying this weekend, I've been watching more and more about it, and I'm just like, don't know if I wouldn't mind a go, but I don't know if I do yet. I think what intrigues me is learning the actual track.
Yeah.
Because you're watching onboard, you just get lost so quick, and it intrigues me trying to figure my way out. And then if I learnt it, then I might think, oh, I'll have a go. But like Storm said, a lot of people go over there late in their career anyway, so there's plenty of time.
What gets me is how long's the lap? It's 38 or something, isn't it? 36, 37.
37, 37
yeah, 3/4. What's happened when you've gone past that? You've got another 37 miles till you get back to that point. How do you know nothing's changed? How do you know something's...
Trust.
Yeah,
You trust the marshals and the flags.
Yeah, you can't think like that. I don't think if you're going over there.
No, Well, I think like that, so I probably couldn't do it.
It's the guys that I speak to when I was at the TT last year, and we spoke to Sam West and Davey and James Hillier and a couple of others. And it's interesting as to where they are on the circuit and what they're thinking about. Because I was intrigued to find out how many corners ahead, if any, they are. Because everything happens so quick, the maximum they can get is maybe 2 corners ahead, and that's it. Because everything else happens so quickly, you can't think about anything else.
No.
Whereas here, you can set yourself up almost a lap ahead.
Yeah.
Because you've got a minute and a half and you're back round to the same place. So I'll have him next time round. But out there,
they're just chasing the next corner.
It's exactly that.
Yeah.
It's just chasing the next. That's eloquently put.
I think you've got to ride in the present there, haven't you?
Yeah.
But what's going on? I don't know. We're talking like we know what we're on, but we don't have
don't have a clue.
Because we've never done it. But
that's the weird thing.
Are we talking rubbish? You've done it.
You know, I went through Mathers Cross flat out. For that one.
So team owner Brent Gladwin admitting that he did go through Mathers Cross flat out, because it was a couple of years ago, wasn't it? That was the thing. It was a year.
Volume 3 report.
Hang on, it was not. I know how old you are, and you weren't 15 when you did that. So,
he'd give it a go, I reckon.
I think he probably will, yeah. And I'm older than I look.
I think it's a different game as well now, because they're not riding it like a road, are they, anymore? It's like
that's what really surprised me about Northwest was how hard they're going. I think I said that to you when I was there. It's they're not. You hear people they're riding at like 80%, 95%. No, they're not. Like
they're riding at 100% of what they can ride on the roads.
Yeah.
It's not 100% of what you can do here, but it's still 100% of what they can do for where they are.
Yeah.
Is that a fair shout, Brent?
I think the thing that scares me most about TT, what puts me off doing it, not the track, nothing like that, it's the variables of what can and can't go wrong It's like animals running out. You just can't stop that, or like a mechanical. You're putting that bike under so much stress that
Footballs last year on Bray Hill.
Yeah.
A couple of
there was,
footballs,
wasn't
wasn't
there?
there?
Football, that was
like-
lethal, that.
that's out
That's
of your
never been known
control.
before.
So that's the only bit where you're like, ooh.
It's fair enough. I have a list of questions for you both as well. Then we'll
Hit
go alternatively. We'll go with you first.
Hit
What motivates you the most?
Just the vision of being on the podium. Wanting to achieve what I can see in my head. It's what motivates me is what I can see in there, what I know I can do. Making it happen is that's what your motivation does, isn't it? But it's it's an unreal feeling.
Visualization.
Visualization. What you can see.
Manifesting. Do you do a bit of that?
I don't know what that means.
It's when you visualize something so strongly that you make it happen. You manifest.
Well, yeah, I suppose
Good
it would,
vibes.
because I keep turning up.
So there you are. Keep turning up. Keep getting a ride.
Yeah.
That's easy. And the good thing about swapping these questions is at one point you both get a chance to think about the answer. Where the other one hits it straight away and the other one gets a chance to think about it. What motivates you the most, Joe?
motivates me? I think getting what I want is I know what I can do, and I want that. That's what sometimes frustrates me the most is I know what I'm capable of because I've been behind enough of these riders now, and I know I'm as good, if not better than 90% of them. And there's a lot of ones who aren't that good doing quite good, and that's frustrating. But you got to concentrate on yourself, and I think just getting the maximum of what I can do motivates me. And obviously winning is a big motivation, but at the end of the day we all start riding bikes to enjoy it, and as long as I enjoy myself, and obviously results are a vital part and they want to come, so that's even more enjoyable. But I want to enjoy it. That's what I like about this team. It's not like you're just turning up, it's like everyone's enjoys it. When we have a bad day, we all have a bad day. When we have a good day, we all have a good day. And for me, I enjoy that a lot.
What's the best advice you've ever received?
Yeah. Cheers, Brent. Honestly, the best advice.
The other answer to that, the other part to that question, or didn't take.
Yeah. I think the best piece of advice I ever got was from Roger Marshall, and you see it in every paddock even now. Doesn't matter what, but talent, you never lose talent. You don't. You can see people, they don't win for 5 or 6 years, but when it comes together, your talent doesn't just disappear. When everything's right, you know how to ride a bike and win, and you'll do it.
Form's temporary, class is permanent.
But yeah, you just talent. You never lose talent. You see it with, like, say, Seeley. He's been champion in Stock 1000 a few times before, and comes back, and you're thinking, oh, he ain't gonna do anything. If the bike's right, he couldn't do it on other bikes in that class in the past. But when it's right, everyone thinks he's done. He's not done. He's back fighting for the winning places you wouldn't think he would be. He doesn't.
Do you want me to read the question again?
No, I know the question.
Do you know the answer?
Best advice is what Brent says to me all the time is like, just have fun, enjoy it. Because when I go supermoto riding and stuff like that, and I just have a laugh, and it's easy. It all comes pretty easy to me because my natural talent takes over, and I just enjoy riding the bike and have a laugh. But yeah, sometimes you get a bit into it where you're like, oh no, I want to go faster. Then you're tensing up. You're trying to put the bike where it's not wanting to go, and it's not forcing. But yeah, no, it's. And my dad always used to say to me, "Smooth is fast. Look at Lorenzo. When he was at the front, he'd be gone."
Yeah.
So that's what good advice was smooth is fast.
I like it. What's the kindest thing someone's ever done for you?
Brent giving me a ride.
The same answer for both of you.
Probably, yeah.
Brent putting up with us. There's a few.
I think just people giving you like opportunities to do what you want to do. Like obviously it starts off from both of us. Our family gives us the first opportunity. Well, then we wouldn't have got this far, and then
Right, sponsors
it's
as well.
people- yeah,
Sponsors looking
sponsors,
after you and stuff, because it
everything.
wouldn't be possible without them. And they put a lot of time. Well, their time equals into money, and then they put the
course.
money into you, and you respect their time for putting in the money, and it's just it all works together. It's one big happy family, innit? These planes don't fly without money. Noise limits.
There we go. I just find that an interesting question because it's, and I've known you two boys long enough, and that you both have humility, and you understand how you've arrived where you've arrived at, and it's not without the help of a lot of other people. And I'm sure there's plenty of others in the paddock that are the same, but I can only speak for the boys that I'm sat with.
Hey, I've got to say it for Dogs, Aaron, Josh, Martin, all the people in the team that work with us. I wouldn't be able to get that bike out on the track if it weren't for them doing it. Danny back at the workshop, Brent putting in some wonga and his time and effort. It's like you say, it just wouldn't all be possible. So you've got to say thank you to all the people making it happen. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be able to start that bike. They've got little jump packs on. I wouldn't be able to start it on my own.
You can't be on it and starting it at the same time, can you?
You can't. It's
Can't be in two places at once.
no, you can't. You can't.
Omnipresent. Quite like these little questions. It just
good.
opens things up a little bit. What's your deepest fear?
Never riding a bike again. Just love riding bikes, man. I mean, we went Superbike in the other weekend, and my missus said to me, she said, "I just took my helmet off, I finished the race," and she went, "You shaking?" And I went, "Yeah, I know." Says I'm buzzing. Says I'm proper buzzing. Like I get proper shakes in my fingers and hands, and it's like you'd think it's because I'm thirsty or like I'm got no sugar, but I'm like genuinely shaking. I'm like, oh, that was mint. Like I'm just buzzing.
It's just your brain working that.
Yeah,
isn't
it is, isn't it? And to never have them feelings again, that's true fear. To not be able to have that again.
For me, it wouldn't be not riding the bike again. It'd be not achieving what you could have done. Looking back, going, because everyone's got to go and get a normal job after, pretty much. Or they'll still, even if they make millions, they're still going to invest that. And just sitting there thinking, why haven't I got out what I should have got out? Because you know, if you can win championships, and sitting back and going, I could have won that championship.
There's a lot of people you hear now that were like, oh, I could have done this, I could have done this. And you can tell they regret it, that they didn't do what they wanted to do, and that. Yeah. And it's, it's...
At least if I give everything and it doesn't work, I'll accept that.
100%.
Happily, I could go and live a happy life forever, but if it don't give everything, then you thought I could have had that, then you'd be looking back like, that isn't good. That's a long time to live like that.
100%.
In the back of your head, because it'd always be there.
Of course it would. And this is fascinating. And I appreciate you answering these questions.
The person that beats you up the most is yourself.
Yeah, that's it.
It does me with the podcast.
Yeah.
And it's not anything as
Your own worst critic.
yeah, always have been, always will be. Still suffer now with imposter syndrome. And in the back of my mind, there's still somebody in the back of my mind going like, why are you two sat here talking to me? Why am I doing this?
You're a good imposter.
Thank you.
You're very good at it. I couldn't tell.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
Because on the top it all looks nice and serene, but underneath I'm paddling like hell. Yes, exactly that.
Breathe,
And some of the opportunity, breathe, do this properly. That's why I have little crib sheets and stuff like that. Well, thank you for your time, boys. Appreciate this. Here's one for you. Tell me and our learned listeners and viewers just one thing about you that nobody else knows.
Everyone knows I'm a knob. Or can't say the word that Brent probably used.
Everyone knows I've got a massive knob.
I love these questions.
I don't know. I don't actually know. I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah. Go on, Brent. You answered it. Go on.
Something people probably don't know about me is I'll probably never be able to insure a car again because it gets caught speeding.
How many points, John?
Well, I'll be on 6 soon.
Oh, you're right. You're only halfway there.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's not bad, is it?
No, I know. It's a good job I'm not in my first 2 years of driving. I'd be banned now. I'd be mum running me
I
around
think
again.
something that people wouldn't know about me is if I had the choice to do this all over again, would I do it? Or would I do things differently is probably a better way of putting it. I probably wouldn't change an absolute thing. Like I'd do it exactly how I've done it. I wouldn't change nothing about how it's happened. Everything happens for a reason, and that's probably what people don't understand about me is quite like relaxed. Of the what will be will be. I'm not stressing about nothing.
I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason. I think
we're at this point now because this is where we're meant to be.
100%.
Yeah, I believe in a lot of stuff. I'm quite superstitious in that respect. That's probably there you go. It's coming to me now.
Oh, yeah, look.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm quite superstitious. Like things a certain way, and that puts me at ease.
I like that because I think the same way in a lot of senses that how the hell have I ended up doing this?
Yeah.
I spent, Brent knows it, we've known each other the best part of 10 years. And I've always wanted to work in the paddock. And then last year, I was press officer for a championship when it's like, how the hell did that happen? How did I manage that? When I've tried for... Next door's just a little warming cycle next door. I'm not sure we'll be all right. We're still here as it's not so bad.
General limiter.
But everything happens for a reason. I'm a big, big fan of that. And I like it that especially... That normally comes... when you're nearer mine and Brent's age, that normally comes with age to understand that.
When I go back to the question now, and it's like something people don't know about me, probably in a lot. There isn't.
You're an open book, aren't you, mate?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. My cards are on the table. Like I say, most people know.
So on the back of that, then, describe yourself in 5 words.
Oh my god! I'd rather let someone else do it. Well, no, because your own opinion on yourself's different to what everyone else thinks, isn't it?
It's all about you. The podcast says Storm, Stacey, Joe Francis. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
Oh my god!
I'm just a host. It doesn't matter what I think.
Can we not say 5 words what we think about each other?
Go on then.
Go on, you can go on, mate.
That'll do. Yeah, turn it around. This is the beauty of it.
All right. Politely, or
yeah, I am polite. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
No, I don't know. I'd say. This is quite weird. The 2 I'll use were opposite. I think he's quite normal, but at the same time, he's not normal. Like normal, and then he's not normal.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Dave.
What, that you're normal and abnormal at the same time?
Yeah, I'm tearing up.
You are as well. I can see it in your eyes. What a wonderful, wonderful feeling.
Thank you, Joe.
It's all right. Don't actually. Yeah. No, I think he's skillful.
Yeah.
I think that's one.
Normal, abnormal, skillful.
Yep.
Funny and generous.
Two. What have I got? 2 left.
Yeah.
I think he's a good person.
Yeah.
Like, and he's
Are you using those 2 as one word, or are you using those 2 as 2 words?
there's one.
Good and person.
Yeah. He's a person. What else?
You weren't expecting to be thinking this hard tonight,
No.
were you?
Come on, one more.
One more.
Say him a or something.
That we want?
Yeah,
Go on, you.
yeah, that's it. We've got the last one.
Your turn.
Probably happy.
No, Joe's got a lot of time for people, and time. He's polite. He's very clever. He's good at bricklaying.
Yeah.
I
don't know if I'm good at it.
And he
Don't
doesn't
see
know how
it
to
from my
service his car.
Good mechanic.
Good mechanic.
Doesn't know how to
His
service
oil
his car.
filter rotten on his smart car when he got here.
I was going to drive it home.
So the word you're looking for then is inept.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. I was
soul.
picking.
No, I just don't care. I think that's the problem.
Fair enough.
Like Storm would say, cars, they just break.
They just break. When I was buying and selling cars, I'm out of it now. I can't be bothered with it. But you sell a car, and it's a used car, and it is used, like very used, and someone would buy it, and it'd break. Well, cars break.
That's what they do.
Done. Want a medal? That's the way it goes, isn't it?
Tell me about your aims for the season.
Consistent top tens. Consistent top tens. I think if we can be fighting in that top 10 all the time, I think we've done a good job there. Like Alton went really well. Donington's expectations to be just have a good weekend, very good weekend. keep the momentum up to Knockhill. Knockhill's somewhere I know I'm going to go well. I go well here, but Knockhill I know I go well there as well. But then when we get to places where I'm not a massive fan of, and we've not had very good results there, keep the momentum up from here to these results to on to this one hopefully, and I think that's more than possible. But yeah, that's the aim, is to just keep the momentum up and just keep consistently knocking on the door.
Joe?
For me, it's we've spent all winter, a lot of mistakes last year, so it's minimising that, and I think the best way of putting it is maximising. Everyone knows the situation of the Superstock class at the minute. Yeah, there's a manufacturer that's working a bit better than, it's making a lot of people look better than what they are on, in the depth of field, say. But for us, focus on ourselves and maximise every weekend, whether that is maximising it and that's attempts the best. Like I felt like Silverstone round 1, 2 7th places, you think like 7th, but for me, we got everything out of that weekend that we could have got out of it. And if you go home after every weekend like that, as a team, as everyone, we all get what we can out every weekend, then at the end of the year, then points are going to be, minimise the mistakes, then points are going to be, well, look at it, I didn't finish the last round, I stayed at the same place to the championship, so if I hadn't have done that, come the end of the year, that could be quite a high position in the championship and just maximise everything.
That mindset fascinates me a little bit, because I'm a big fan, and I've said it on the show numerous times. In the world of racing, because of the situation in National Superstock at the moment, with the strength of that manufacturer,
yep,
and the amount of machines that manufacturer has on the grid, if your package on its given day, if the planets align and the best that you can expect,
yep,
not saying it is, but as a for instance, that the best you can expect is 6th place, and you hit that 6th place,
you got it.
That's a win.
That's it, and that's what's hard to understand. That's what took me a long time to understand, is it's hard accepting that the 6th and the 7th the best, but you got to look at like the World Championships and things. Johnny Ray won a championship off 2nd was his best for half a year, but he maximised every 2nd place, and that won him a World Championship.
I think you've always got to remember. How come we're not doing it?
Ladies and gentlemen, Brent Gladwin.
Good evening. I think when you get to this point, obviously I'm listening in the background with the boys, so there's a couple of things, I've been in the paddock as a team for 27 years. Joe's a repeat offender, so he won the championship, the first Moto3 championship for me in 2013, and he's been back for 2 years. We've got Storm now for 5 years, and we've been very successful with other great riders, Tyrone McKenzie and Carl Harris, Dean Thomas, all these guys. We've had some great riders. And the one thing with these two is they do keep you on your feet, and it's a clash of personalities, not in a horrible way. Storm is the extrovert, and Joe is the quiet one. So trying to get a conversation out of him with the guests in the morning is like pulling hen's teeth. So we usually give the microphone to Storm, who's quite happy to chirp away about whatever's happening. And so I feel that we've got a really great team. Storm, the Kawasaki in Superbike with BSB rules, it's a great bike, and all of those bikes can work together very, very well, and we're not sure who's going to win. In Superstock, it's a bit harder. But the reason I jumped in is there's an old analogy, isn't it? If we look at some of our great world champions, the ones that stick out in your mind are always the ones that won on something that couldn't be won on. So, when Rainey was winning, Kev Swantz was winning, when Valentino swapped from Honda to Yamaha, when
Eddie Lawson.
Stoner, when Eddie Lawson swapped from Yamaha to Honda, the other way around. And there's always an analogy. If you win on something that can't be won on, you must be good.
100%.
But if you jump on the bike that everybody's winning on and you don't win, probably time to go home.
100%.
And so at the
Fully agree with
moment,
that.
In Joe's class, there's an awful lot of people who've jumped on that bike, and it makes it difficult. So for us, with Joe, you know, our aim is just to be the first Kawasaki. That's our aim.
100%.
We're all doing a good job. I'm proud of the team, proud of the lads, proud of the mechanics, and we do enjoy ourselves. As Storm said earlier, we are the team is more kind of my family.
Yeah.
So it is.
I'm glad you jumped in, because I did invite you in the first place and you said no, but I'm glad you've jumped in.
But you asked a few questions of the boys, and it's nice to see them chatting away like this, because as you've seen them tonight, it's generally how they are. So we know that Storm's bonkers at certain times, but how he is here is how he is.
Yeah.
And it's been a pleasure to watch him, to be honest.
And it like I say, it keeps you on your toes as well, doesn't it? Having two completely different characters in the team, but you know them both well enough. You've done 5 seasons now with Storm, as a, like you say, repeat offender with Joe.
Yeah,
it's just bringing the family together.
I think, yeah, it is. It's really good, and all the mechanics and things, they've all been around us for an awfully long time. We've made a few changes over the winter in people, and people have joined us like Josh and things, and it's always quite good fun. And you get things like the old Stouff have been with us for 10 years as a sponsor, and even though the headline sponsor for the Superbike has changed to Starline, it's still Euro Car Parts, and they've been with us coming up 4 years now. So it is good, but BSB in general and the BSB family, and all the teams, they've all got their own little great families, haven't they? And it's just, when the flag drops, we all go to war, don't we?
That's exactly it. It's motorcycle racing at the end of the day, isn't it? But when everybody's off track, you see it in the paddock. Within reason, everybody gets on pretty well. You get 1 or 2 anomalies you go into with such an amount of people in the paddock, but generally speaking,
what do we live in? 2 square miles of egos.
Good shit. Let me write that one down. I'm going to remember that. 2 square mile of ego. It's true though, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's true.
The mechanics want to beat each other.
Of course they do.
Hospitality want to beat each other. The riders want to beat each other. It's
who wants to be fastest set up for the garage? Who wants the pit perch set up first? And it's all of it.
It's just competition,
all the time.
And obviously, I've got the surname, haven't I? Gladwin.
I'm always glad to win. You still got the enthusiasm that you've always had for it, Brent. It doesn't seem to be waning at all.
Well, I'm 65 this year, so something's got to wane. Maybe we need a bigger store of Viagra or something.
Isn't that a Canadian waterfall? the passion that you have for the sport and the youngsters that you've worked with, as you said previously, coming through, the fact that you've been here for 27 years, it says an awful lot about you and the setup that you have within the GR Motorsport umbrella.
It's motorcycling is a passion. We do have other parts of our life, that is for sure. But motorcycles, every now and again, I do feel as though I want to fall over and bang my head. And when I wake up to motorcycles, what are you talking about? But it's not very often. So, and it is challenging. But there's nothing better than at Donington, at Silverstone. Storm had a bad weekend. We all had a bad weekend. We blew that many engines up. Everybody thought we built them with hand grenades in them, and Joe had 2 super strong results, so he pulled us through the weekend. Then we went to the next race and at Alton, and we were forced into a position that, it turned out fantastic, and Storm did what he did, qualifying. Okay, it's mixed conditions, but it levels everything up, so it shows talent a little bit better. And, that qualifying, if the cameras had been in our garage, it would
There's
have
some
definitely.
photos.
Yeah,
There's
there
some
are some photos, and it wouldn't have mattered how bad a day you were having. If you'd have seen the shenanigans in our garages, it would have cheered you up no end, because you'd have been laughing at those nutcases all going off like some kind of football match.
I can actually, I can attest to that, because I was up in the control tower with Duncan earlier on, and just sat up there with him chatting away, just putting the world to rights. And I said I was coming to see you boys tonight, and he explained the noise, because the pit,
Right above it.
your pit box was right underneath the comms
Yeah.
booth, and he said to hear that noise was just brilliant. He said it was just like you were watching, an England football match or something like that.
Yeah.
The cheering and the noise and the support for the boys, he said, it made the hairs on the back of his neck stand up.
Yeah, it's good, and it's infectious as well. It's the whole Storm's mum was there, and whether my Claire and everybody's just jumping about, and you're grabbing hold of somebody and hugging them and thinking, oh, sorry. That kind of,
Put me down.
Yeah, so, it is good. And also all the other teams experience the same highs and lows.
Yeah.
It's all part of this, BSB family that, but we want it to be our turn all the time.
That's part of racing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's part of racing.
So,
Thank you, Brent. You going to be able to get back up there, or do you want
yeah, I'm just going to get craned up now.
That's a good plug there, DP Crane Services.
Hey, you've trained him well, Brent. Brent Gladwin, thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Thank you for dropping in. You're all right there now with the knee, aren't you? We'll finish off, boys. Thank you for your time. I thoroughly
I'm looking
appreciate
at these
this.
questions you've got here.
I have got a couple more. Do you want?
Oh, may as well. You're in a rush.
Really? No.
I'm in no rush. What about you, boys?
No, I'm not.
You need to just.
Which way?
It's that bit that needs turning.
Oh my God, you
tight.
can't leave it alone.
Is it spin it around a bit more than just with the microphone, and then just spin it round back to you? There you go. How's that? Okay. We'll do a couple more questions then. You're not ready for bed yet, Brent, are you?
I'm a bit ready for bed yet, but I've got something I'm brewing up at the minute. A new thing I'm starting at BSB.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not telling you yet.
Okay.
Right, I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Well, go on then.
International BSB Go Fish Championship.
I like it.
You know the game Go Fish
Yeah.
cards? We're going to have a big championship. I'm going to bring medals and stuff. £20 entry fee. Any bets allowed.
Really?
See how long it goes on.
I used to play Go Fish with my grandma.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't
bring
use my
your
grandma. I
grandma.
used a pack of cards, but I played fish with her.
You can try it.
I can't. not for the last 10 years.
Fair enough.
Any bike for the garage? What is it? Your home garage, obviously not
I think
the BSB garage.
it'd have to be a Stoner Ducati for me.
Yeah.
Or like an old 2-stroke 500. Just something like that, I think. Definitely a Stoner. I was a massive Stoner fan growing up, or a Bayless Ducati. Used to always love Ducatis for some reason. I don't know why, just the riders I used to like used to always be on them, but yeah, I think one of them would be nice in my garage at home.
Stop.
Kawasaki ZX-10RR.
Oh, he's good, isn't he? He's good.
And then next to that, I'd have the Kawasaki Z900, and then I'd have the ZX6R.
I can't tell you how much I can feel the pride coming in from this.
Motocross bike, I'd probably have one of them Kawasaki KX450s.
Would you KX450? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice them, aren't they?
Yeah.
If
Thank you.
and obviously, if you live near the sea,
I'd have a Kawasaki jet ski.
yeah,
And if I wanted to go off-roading, I'd have a Kawasaki buggy.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Is there anything else they do?
Just anything by
If
Kawasaki
they do
Heavy
lawn
Industries.
mowers, I'd have a lawn mower for doing my
Yeah.
grass.
They do trains.
Do trains? It's
I'll
heavy
have a
industry, isn't it?
Kawasaki train.
The Kawasaki train.
No, I like all sorts of bikes, like the classic 2-strokes and stuff like that. They're all cool, aren't they?
Yeah.
The smell of them and that. I think you all want something you can't have, and like they don't have anymore. And so your 2-strokes are nice, aren't they? Because you don't see them as much. But you do when you go is.
Oh yeah. There's a few. There's a few at
But yeah,
Brent's.
no, they're nice 2-strokes and stuff. But like, I like anniversary bikes and that, they look nice. Like them Yamaha R1 60th anniversaries, I like them. They're nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably about it. Bike
That's a big garage, that.
Yeah, I need a big garage.
You need a big garage.
Yeah. That was good. Everyone knew that anyway.
I kind of knew that, but you know, you're very good.
That's
at what you
why I've got cars at the minute, because you don't have to store cars in something. You can
No,
just chuck them
they're kind of
outside
waterproof, aren't
Yeah.
they? They're all right.
Till they rust.
Yes. Or your
Just keep driving.
your oil filter rusts
Yeah.
and rots away.
They just break.
Next question,
What's the one thing that never fails to make you laugh?
Brent. I don't know.
TV program?
That's a good question, that. When I've done something daft. It's probably myself. I can entertain myself quite easily. That's what I say. Like, I can spend a lot of time on my own because I talk to myself and everything. I can just entertain myself. So I probably make myself laugh by, making myself
By
laugh.
being you?
Yeah, just being me, yeah. I think, what did I do that for? But that makes me laugh, yeah.
Joe?
Something that makes me laugh.
Yeah, never fails to make you laugh. Never fails.
Your missus is watching, you've got to say it.
Yeah. What makes me? I don't even know. I don't know what makes me laugh.
I ain't seen you laugh for a while, to be fair.
No. Quite miserable, aren't I?
He laughs on the inside. It's
he
a
does.
lot of internal
Yeah.
happiness that you've got.
No, you do, you're happy. You're on
I don't
it.
know what. I don't know.
Some searching questions tonight,
They
aren't
are,
there?
aren't they?
That's a
my
hard one,
brain,
that,
yeah.
because you can't think what makes you laugh. Like,
No.
if someone, like Brent sends you a WhatsApp video and it's something daft, like, you laugh at it, don't you? But the funniest ones, when someone texts you, and you go, I'm dying, and you're like that behind the phone. Dying, that was so funny.
I can't breathe. And it's like, it's not really that funny at all, was it?
I'm dying.
I think the problem is as well, what you think's funny. I could tell you now, and it's just not funny.
Yeah, it's
But
not-
But it's funny
at
to
that
you.
moment
To
in time,
yourself,
it's
isn't it?
just funny.
Yeah.
The
even
things that I find that there might just be something and it just sets me off, and like Jen will look at me going, "It wasn't that funny,"
Yeah.
but then I make myself laugh more because she don't find it funny,
Yeah, that's
and
it.
that sets me off even more.
But it's like me and my sister. My sister's got a funny laugh. So she'll end up laughing at something, and then I'm laughing at her laugh, and she's laughing at me laughing at her laugh. So then you're laughing at... It's just nonsense, isn't it? But,
What's your hidden talent?
Hidden talent, riding motorbikes.
Don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's a good job it's warm in here, Brent.
Hidden talent. I'm quite good in a car. I'd say I'm
Okay.
all right in a car, yeah.
What, just generally driving or
Yeah,
like
driving.
donuts?
Yeah,
And,
I mean, the police think so.
yeah, they keep giving you
Yeah.
points, like holding points up in cards and it's like,
Yeah,
you
that's
did really
what it
well
is,
there.
Yeah, well done.
Have some points.
10 points.
Yes,
Whee!
congratulations.
No, I got track cars and stuff. I come do track days and stuff, and I'm all right in a car.
Cool, Joe.
Probably falling asleep anywhere. I don't know, like...
I wish I
He's
could do that.
narcoleptic.
I can just fall asleep.
That is true.
I can
You're
just
narcoleptic.
go anywhere. Right before a session, I could have a nice sleep. Anytime on the
Please
floor,
rub that
car,
off on me.
anything. There's just too much stress.
So people say it's mint watching Storm all buzzing and lively. Well, I'm like this when I'm trying to sleep. I don't sleep at all. I just can't. I do. But it takes me so long to get to sleep. I wish I could have that. Hello?
What was your best subject at school?
Me? Not a lot, really. Probably not turning up. I don't know. I was always good at like maths and
Yeah.
I don't know. I just found everything's simple, isn't it? Like, but to do anything right's difficult. I could do it all in school, like, but I just didn't want to be there. So I wasn't really a best
Fair enough.
subject or anything.
What was the question?
What was your best subject at school? Obviously, paying attention was one of them.
Is that a Spanish track day in Spain? No, I wasn't there much, to be
No.
honest.
No.
No, I understand that. And
But geography. I like
enjoy that?
geography, yeah.
You've travelled a bit, haven't you? So
Yeah, well, the thing is people would be in the geography class and they go, oh, where's this? And I go, I know where that is. I've been there.
Been there.
All the other kids are like, I have no clue.
Most places in Spain.
Yeah.
Final question.
In fact, no, I'll do the one that I've done with the others so far, that Craig Lowe, one of our long-term listeners, sent in. First one for you, and then you, so you get a bit of time to think about it. Would you rather fight a chicken every time you get in your car, or a monkey randomly once a week?
Chicken every time I get in the car, because you know what it's going to do, and you just know if it's gonna go for you straight away. Because you're saying fighting, maybe if there's a chicken in your car, it might not fight.
KFC.
Yeah, KFC.
Oh, it's alive. It's going to fight you.
So
every
it's
time you get in
going
the
to
car.
fight you
Yes,
every time you get in the car. Okay, so
Yep.
you know it's going to come for you. Just
Yep.
grab its neck, fling it off, get in your car. Jobs are good. And monkey, mate, that's going to be a hard fight. That chicken.
I'd go the opposite. I couldn't be bothered with something every single day.
Would be good to take
So I
out
just
a bit
have
of
it
frustration, wouldn't it?
Yeah, just once a week. It's boom, boom, less hassle.
But you could be in a restaurant. You could be on the job with a missus. It could be any time.
Yeah, just go with that once a week.
On the job with the missus. Leave us alone. Do you want to crack on?
No, it's not. No, it's not your turn. And the last question, as we do as always, and you might have a joint one for this, considering where you were in the springtime. What's your best hire car story, boys?
Yeah, so it's when we was out in Spain and we was doing these back roads towards the villa, weren't we?
Yeah.
And we was getting fast. Well, we wasn't.
Whereabouts were you?
Andalusia.
Andalusia.
So it was, what was the...
Well, you got dogs.
Majanka,
First of all,
wasn't it?
dogs is. I thought dogs is quite normal, but
What?
you make Storm look normal.
Hang on, explain who dogs is.
Who is he?
Oh, dogs do.
He
Yeah.
did used to race.
Yeah.
He used to
probably
race.
tell you
He's
that.
got the lap record around Thuxton on a 252 stroke.
How many times does it remind you of that?
Every
It's a few
day.
times. We say used to race. He does
Still
still
race.
race. He does
Yeah.
still race. That's what he calls it anyway.
Just wait
Yeah,
for this.
we
Wait
was-
for this. Wait for this to go over.
That's a good topic. You know when you get on a plane
Yeah.
and you listen to the engine, don't you? When you're taking off, you're listening to it. It's none of
Yeah.
your business, but you're listening to the
Yeah.
engine. Next time you get on a plane, listen to the engine, because it won't sound like the last plane you got on. They all sound different, and I always think like this engine's broke. Something
Do you not
broke
think
it.
that might be a different version of
Maybe.
the aeroplane that you get on?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I think
Or
the wind's blowing a
upgrades.
different direction.
Yeah.
that day.
Yeah, we just don't know, do you? But you hear them like shutting off, and you're like, oh, well, I'm sure we're not.
They're, s-
Nah,
they're supposed to. They're supposed to throttle. They only use 100% throttle on takeoff and then throttle back as they get to
Yeah.
altitude.
Well, all right, right. You've scared us off topic. Here.
Probably one. It's just like a Ducati's not the same as a Kawasaki, is it?
We've
Sounds
flown off
different.
topic.
Usually
here.
sounds
Which
different.
is standard, literally flown off topic.
So best hire car is.
You're still going. You've
Yeah.
only got halfway
So
through.
we're
You talk
going.
about
We're
dogs,
doing these
sorry.
lanes, and when we first got there, we nearly went head on with the car, didn't we?
Yeah, you nearly.
And like we like they were sat in this car.
We stopped just before.
We stopped just before we hit them. Brent, could you just get out?
And this is the bit that I can feel because I know Brent's still here. He's stood just at the back of that
We
camera.
stopped just before we got to his car. It was all on dog. Like it's on Dogs' credit card, so it was on their credit card. They knew what they were doing. So we can't nearly head on with this car. And they just sat in it and they're like, whoa, they're kicking off, and we're all in the car like, we carry on, all's good, like sound, and then we're flying back this one night, weren't we? With Josh in the back, and you was in the back as well, weren't you? And we're going down this road, and you can't remember this little lane, like, and it was dark, it was like middle of the night, so there was no cars about, so he's nailing it down this lane, and then the car like compresses on the back and then sends it on its nose, and we're like, whoa! All of us in the car, we're like, whoa! And then it lands, and we're like nearly in the brick wall, and we're like, calm it down. Like now we've got to calm it down.
When it landed, if it wouldn't have landed going the way that the road was going,
Yeah.
we were in a brick wall. It
Yeah.
just was, and he still
Like,
thinks
he
he
got-
was under control. It
And the
just
thing
wasn't.
was because we had two, so we had Aaron, my data guy, in one of them, and we had Dogs in the one car. So me and him kept going with Dogs because we knew he was going to nail it. But then sometimes he'd go I'm not driving bad. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it with cruising. And
Say Aaron's a better driver.
Look at Aaron. He's a way better driver than you. Look how he's taking them corners, and he's like, all right then. And he gets all fired up, and he's like, look at Aaron round there, and he's like, well, I'll go around the outside of him. He was easy to get revved up, but it's it was funny. Wasn't it? What about our near-death experience on that lane in Spain?
Josh didn't come back in the car with us after that.
Yeah, you didn't actually. You didn't come back in the car. It's pretty lethal, that. Private roads. These are on private roads. Disclaimer, private roads,
land all the way.
Land. The farmer was loving it.
We have to have that caveat on there.
Yeah.
Boys, thank you.
No
This
drama.
has been an absolute pleasure.
Come on whenever you want.
Thank you. Thank you. I can join my own podcast
No,
whenever I like.
I'll come on. Whatever. All right, don't have me then. Sound.
I'd like to do this again later in the season.
Yep.
See where we're at. Maybe do
We
it.
best get pushing a bit. Then.
I think you've got
Have
three
something to talk about.
3 or 4 rounds to push on now. Do something maybe Cadwell or whatever comes after Cadwell. I can't remember what's after Cadwell.
We'll do something at Cadwell.
Snetterton or something. Yeah, one of those, isn't it?
Oh, don't come to us at Snetterton. We'll be having a bad weekend there.
Thruxton. So we won't do Snetterton or Thruxton. All right, we can manage that. So maybe here. Kawasaki Cadwell. There's no pressure
Let's
there.
see how
is
the
there?
weekend started off, and I'll send you an okay or an okay.
You tell me when you want to come back
Yeah,
on. How's
sound.
that?
All right then. Yeah, sound. I'll get the boss man to tell you.
Yeah, boss man, tell me you got one. I'm just drop me a message. Tell me.
Well, I'm coming to see you soon for a brew anyway.
You are, aren't you?
You happen to live round the corner from me. It's a bit weird, Dave.
It was close,
Bit
wasn't
weird.
it?
Literally just down the road from the
Following
missus'
you.
house. Yeah, but yeah, I'll
His
be
missus
round
lives
for a brew anyway.
on the edge of Burnley, and we're 10 minutes up the motorway, if that.
It's not bad, is it?
It's just bizarre. And now spending more time up there. I work from home, kettle's on, nice cafe in the village.
bad,
Welcome
I'll
anytime.
be round.
You can do. And if you're around as well, kettle's always on, mate.
I'll be around some point. When we go, come and see you.
Yeah, whatever.
The motocross.
If the smart car's got any oil in it.
It's fresh now.
It's all fresh. It's all ready for the summer now. That's it.
Oh, dear.
Summer cruising.
Another 4 years, I'll get touched.
Boys, best of luck for the rest of the weekend. Best of luck for the season ahead. We'll catch up later in the year. And thank you again for your time.
Lovely,
Been
man.
mega.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, Storm.
Cheers, Dave.
Thanks, mate.
See ya.
From Donington Park, Storm Stacey, Joe Francis. Cheers.
Send her home.